Blake Lively just lost it after a judge delivered a bombshell ruling about her deposition. Her own texts and behind-the-scenes footage completely undercut her claims. Then she doubled down, subpoenaing over 35 small creators, triggering global backlash as critics, media, and even the court accused her of lying and abusing her influence. Blake, who spent months playing the victim and hiding behind a courtroom circus, couldn't even face the consequences. Want to guess her next move? Yep, she postponed her deposition again, for the second time, because when it's time to show up, Blake vanishes harder than a guy who forgot he ever matched with you on Tinder. And this wasn't some behind-closed-doors delay. No, this was a spotlight moment. And she dipped. The same Blake, demanding justice and transparency, couldn't even step into a room and answer questions. And now her entire PR machine, the image of America's sassiest wife, the chic activist, the woke darling, is falling apart. Media outlets like Daily Mail and Radar Online, once wrapped around her finger, are now calling this meltdown a full-blown PR catastrophe. And they're not wrong. Insiders are whispering, or more like shouting, that this could end her career. When even your fans start leaving the group chat, it's a wrap that let's talk about the petty online witch hunt she's launched. Blake's no longer just beefing with Baldoni. She's serving subpoenas like she's running a yard sale. At this rate, she's hit 15 YouTubers and 20x users. Most of them don't even have large followings. Some are under 20,500 followers. Some aren't even monetized. Some literally make $0. Like, why chase people who couldn't buy a Big Mac if they tried? Take the spiritual shift, a licensed attorney who publicly stated she never earned a cent from her coverage. No ads, no sponsors, no donations, just vibes. And yet Blake decided she was a threat worth subpoenaing. What's next? Dragging Reddit users into court for breathing weird? And here's the kicker. Some of these subpoenas were issued after legal objection deadlines had already passed, meaning these creators couldn't even fight back. It's like Blake woke up and said, "Let's mug the First Amendment today." Eric Schiffer, a PR pro, called it nuclear overkill. He said Blake now looks like a toxic diva mugging free speech. And honestly, that's generous, because what she's really doing is textbook celebrity bullying. She's demanding IP addresses, home addresses, PayPal receipts, and bank data. For what? For publicly commenting on her? Make it make sense. You can't call yourself a champion for women's rights, post about empowerment, and then legally stalk women online because they voiced opinions you didn't like. That's not empowerment. That's ego in a cocktail dress. Now, rewind to July 17th, the day Blake was finally supposed to show up and be deposed by Brian Friedman. But did she? Of course not. She canceled hours before, even after her legal team had flown into New York. It's the second time she's pulled this move. First in June, now July, and who knows, maybe next it's September or Christmas or 2026 when she drops her next overpriced sparkling water. Her excuse this time? She didn't feel safe. As if Brian Friedman is some alleyway goblin. Girl, you've walked red carpets surrounded by paparazzi your entire life. You hosted the Met Gala. You expect us to believe you don't feel safe in a law office? Come on, let's be real. She just didn't want to face someone who wouldn't coddle her like a Vogue photo shoot. Worse, her team tried blaming the Jed Wallace dismissal for why she skipped the deposition. First of all, Jed's dismissal has nothing to do with Blake's deposition. None. The judge didn't say, "Hey Blake, you're off the hook." He dismissed Jed for jurisdictional reasons. That's it. It's like skipping jury duty in New York because you got a parking ticket in Texas. Doesn't work. Ron Zambrano, one of the only lawyers calling it like it is, saw through the charade. He labeled Blake's behavior exactly what it is, a delay tactic wrapped in drama. She's not scared. She's stalling because the second she sits under oath, her whole victim narrative shatters like a wine glass at a Real Housewives reunion. Now let's unpack the Jed Wallace twist. For 7 expensive months, Blake pushed a storyline that Jed was a mastermind behind a bot-led smear campaign. Problem? She had no evidence. Not even fake screenshots or sketchy Photoshop. Just vibes and paranoia. Judge Lewis Lyman finally had enough and dismissed Jed, citing lack of jurisdiction. Jed lives in Texas. Yet Blake's team wasted months and thousands trying to drag him into a court he legally doesn't belong in. The judge basically said, "He doesn't even go here." Even better, The dismissal was with prejudice, meaning she can't refile in New York. If she wants to chase Jed, she'll need to pack up the circus, hire new lawyers in Texas, and convince another judge it's worth hearing. Good luck with that. This wasn't just a courtroom fumble. The ruling completely wrecked her deposition timeline. Suddenly, people scheduled to be there weren't needed. Others were still flying in. It became a logistical disaster. And whose fault? Blake's. Because when your case is built on shaky legal nonsense, don't be surprised when it all falls apart. So here we are, a judge's ruling that wrecked her image, a postponed deposition that revealed her cowardice, a subpoena spree that made her look like a rich bully, and a collapsing case unraveling by the hour. Blake Lively's not trying to clear her name. She's trying to erase anyone who dared to say it. And people are catching on. She's no longer America's sweetheart, just a celebrity unraveling, and we all have front row seats. Judge Lyman's patience is gone. You could feel the secondhand embarrassment leaking from the courtroom. He's running a circus now, and he's not laughing. His expression may as well be a meme. Why am I even here? And when Blake's lawyers tried to play the "but she's a celebrity" card again, Lyman shut it down with "celebrity can be fleeting." Translation? Sit down, shut up, and stop wasting my time. And he's right. Celebrity is fleeting, especially when you're torching your own image like it's a bonfire for narcissists. Blake's team strutted in with couture energy expecting VIP treatment. Instead, the judge basically said, "This isn't David versus Goliath. It's Goliath versus Goliath too." Meaning, both parties are wealthy, powerful, and exhausting him. Let's be honest. Blake didn't walk into court. She tripped in holding a mirror. And when her team asked for more deposition hours, the judge said absolutely not. Federal law allows 7 hours. That's it. You're not filming a rom-com, Blake. This isn't the extended cut of your sob story. Lyman drew the line, and it was glorious. Ron Zambrano stepped in with a dose of reality. If Blake gets more time, everyone will want more time. Then what? Legal anarchy? Depositions longer than Netflix series? No thanks. Lyman made it clear. Follow the rules, finish the job, and stop treating his courtroom like your PR office. And while Judge Lyman is done, so is the internet. Blake's not just going after US creators now. She's trying to subpoena people in Europe. Her legal team attempted to drag creators like Sashlo into court, ignoring EU data privacy laws like they don't exist. They do, and they're strict. Like billion-dollar fines strict. Her lawyers actually believe they could throw a US subpoena at Google and magically get European data. But Google pushed back hard. They warned that moving forward would violate EU laws and carry serious consequences. Meanwhile, Blake's team got caught flat out lying. On tape, claiming the subpoenas were fake. That's right. They called them scams until they got exposed. Someone remind this woman she's not in a scripted drama. This is real life. Now she's being called a mutant privacy predator. Not by trolls, but by legal analysts and media outlets. Because what else do you call someone subpoenaing private data from vloggers with 800 subscribers? She's dragging hobbyists into court like it's a power trip. This isn't about justice. It's about control. Her goal isn't truth. It's domination. She wants to bury dissent, silence critics, and weaponize her wealth like it's Excalibur. Content creators everywhere are raising the alarm. She's not protecting herself with the law. She's punishing speech. Public case. Public records. Public people. And yet she's treating it like a hit job on her reputation. It's a direct attack on free speech wrapped in designer hypocrisy, which brings us to the PR implosion happening in real time. Blake was once America's sweetheart, rom-com royalty, fashion icon, wife of Deadpool himself. Now, they're calling her Big Brother Blake. And the fall has been brutal. PR analysts say her actions amount to brand suicide. Not a catchy headline, an actual quote. The wholesome entrepreneur, the feminist icon, the mental health advocate. That image has melted into legal chaos. You can't say you support women and then target female creators for opinions. You can't claim mental health advocacy while subpoenaing podcasters who made less money last year than your stylist assistant. Even her supporters are abandoning ship. Reddit threads? Dry? Twitter? Ghost town. As Sashlo said, she's down to 3 fans, and that's being generous. That's not a community. That's a forgotten group chat. Let's not ignore the headlines either. Daily Mail, once obsessed with her brunch outfits, now says, Blake's attempt to control the narrative is now controlling her downfall. That's poetry. Radar Online didn't hold back either. They called her behavior pure harassment and warned of irreversible damage. Not mild damage. Not something a new stylist can fix. Irreversible, as in good luck landing your next brand deal. Think luxury brands want to back someone suing micro-influencers and lying to Google? And then there's Emily D. Baker, one of the most respected legal commentators online. Her take? Blake's subpoena spree will go down as the biggest backfire in celebrity legal history. Strong words, but probably true. Instead of silencing critics, Blake handed them a global microphone. Every creator she tried to silence, now louder than ever, with thousands of new followers cheering them on. You can't gag the internet. You can't subpoena curiosity. Here's the truth Blake's lawyers won't admit. Every move has backfired. The courtroom stunts, the privacy invasions, the half-truths, the drama. It's unraveling. Fans are leaving, critics multiplying, and the ones she tried to bury? They're thriving. Because nothing builds sympathy like being targeted by a celebrity. With a billion-dollar smile and a million-dollar grudge. The judge is done. The creators are fed up. The media's laughing. And the internet? The internet never forgets. Blake Lively didn't just nuke her brand. She turned herself into a meme. And not the funny kind. May 23rd, 2025. Mark that date. Because it may go down as the day Blake Lively blew up her own credibility. On that very day, the same one she would later cite as traumatic. She texted Justin Baldoni that he was terrific. Not just that. She added, I'm proud of everything we did today. What kind of alleged victim sends warm compliments to their alleged harasser? Emoji energy included? Let's spell this out. She claimed Justin harassed her on May 23rd. But on that exact day, she texted him like they just wrapped a Hallmark movie. No shade. No tension. Just hugs and good vibes. And it gets worse. Blake didn't realize the behind-the-scenes video from that day had audio. Rookie mistake. Major fail. The footage shows her laughing, dancing, joking with Justin. No discomfort. No awkward energy. Just two co-workers vibing like pros. Not only harmless, actually cheerful. Critics are now calling it the smoking gun. Blake isn't just stretching the truth. She's fabricating victimhood like she's auditioning for her own documentary. And if the emotional manipulation wasn't enough, wait for the financial contradictions. This part practically writes itself. Blake claims Baldoni's smear campaign cost her haircare brand $56 to $70 million in value. That's a bold number, especially when she refuses to open her books. Her legal team wants us to believe the brand collapsed purely due to bad publicity. Not because maybe, just maybe, nobody wanted to buy $90 conditioner from a PR train wreck. Meanwhile, she starred in and executive produced It Ends With Us, which made money. Box office hit. Critics reviewed it. Audiences showed up. Her face was all over it. So if she was that damaged, why'd people still show up? Make it make sense. Baldoni's legal team requested her net worth records to test whether she really suffered losses. The judge denied it, called it irrelevant, which is rich. If your whole argument hinges on financial damage, maybe your finances are kind of relevant. But Blake's team wants it both ways. Cry about economic ruin, then hide the receipts. And she's not saying her film career suffered. She's not suing Lionsgate. She's blaming Baldoni because her fizzy drink line didn't sell. Newsflash, the market said no thanks. And here we are. The final act of Blake Lively's legal implosion. This isn't just a lawsuit. It's a detonation. From chasing hobby creators with subpoenas to contradicting herself with texts, to dodging every shred of accountability, Blake turned a PR fire into a 5-alarm inferno. What started as a dispute is now a culture war. She didn't sue to protect herself. She sued to silence. And the backlash? It's biblical. Every creator she went after? Now amplified. Their channels are growing. Their reach exploding. The people have rallied behind them like a digital uprising. Even uninvolved creators are covering it now, shining a spotlight on her missteps. Blake tried using the law like a megaphone. Turns out it's a boomerang. And no one's buying the act. Not the fans. Not the court. Not even the media. Her perfectly curated image, the fashion queen, the cool mom, the mogul, is now a meme. Judge Lyman has stopped pretending to be patient. Journalists are openly asking if she can ever recover. And influencers? They're eating this saga like it's movie night. Because when someone this rich, this famous, this calculating melts down in real time, you don't look away. You document it. And the final word? Blake didn't just sue the internet. She declared, "We're on it." She brought her lawyers, her millions, and her collapsing brand, and tried to crush regular people beneath her ego. And she's losing. Badly. Her tactics flopped. Her story collapsed. Her image took a hit no stylist, no publicist, no cover shoot can fix. This isn't just a PR stumble. It's a blowout. What makes it worse is how Blake wrapped herself in activism. Months before this mess. Tearful interviews. Talks about silencing women. About justice. Now she's literally trying to bankrupt creators who used public documents to talk about her case. That's not advocacy. That's hypocrisy on heels. And the privilege? Unchecked. This isn't a victim clearing her name. It's a millionaire, married to a millionaire, launching legal grenades at everyday people for having opinions. Some of them didn't even profit. No ads. No cash. Just passion. And that alone made them targets. Meanwhile, Blake stays silent. No apology. No, I see how this looks. Just lawyers and headlines. She's had decades of media training. And somehow, she chose detonation. The backlash is writing its own legacy now. She didn't just lose a case. She lost the illusion she was ever the hero. Blake Lively tried to silence the internet. Now, the internet is silencing her. Subscribe for the full breakdown and hit the bell because it's far from over.